Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Luanna Helena with us. She is a voiceover artist. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Of course, glad to have you on. And we'll dive in. The first question I have for you today is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
I think a great story from my life so far, hopefully there'll be more in the future, is that I wrote my first book in 2015. It was called Party of One Single Success. But unbeknownst to me, 15 years before that, I was writing the introduction. I was at an IHOP and had kind of a weird encounter with the host of the maitre d', and I just kind of sat at the table, jotted down my thoughts and put it away. And then 15 years later, that turned out to be the introduction of my first book. So I think the valuable underlying message there is every life experience is of some value, whether it's positive or negative, it has some value. So be present in that moment, take note of it, and, never know where it may take you years later.
That's so cool. Thanks for sharing that. And what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Well, my expertise industry right now is voiceover work, and I think it's important for people to know the power of the human voice. Our voice, whether it's our voice, whether it's live streaming, podcasting like we are now, or if we hire someone like me, a voiceover artist, to give voice to our product, our brand, a video, there's just really limitless power, and it's a timeless tool or instrument too, for marketing, for branding, for comforting, for so many purposes. Quote I like to use, or that I kind of coined, is, yes, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but pictures plus professionally recorded words or voiceovers can prove to be priceless.
Yes, I love that. And what is your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific.
Overall, it may sound trite or cliche, but be professional. Follow the golden rule. If you like prompt responses or texts or, people getting back to you at a certain time, then you put that out. Be aware of sowing and reaping as a principle. What you put out, punctuality and professionalism and so on, will come back to you. Will end up attracting clients or customers or who will treat you in the same way that you have treated other people.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Have fun. Don't be so anxious. Don't worry about things. As an adult, I'm finding out that they always worked out anyway. High school graduation worked out. College graduation worked out. Financing the first car, all of that worked out. So if I could go back, I'd just say, hey, it's going to work out. Just, relax in the meantime.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
To me, the key to happiness is peace. A lot of people say follow your bliss, but I even think you will find that bliss or that happiness if you follow your peace. If you're not at peace about something, leave it alone. Don't do it until, your head, your heart, your gut, everything is aligned and you feel peaceful and confident moving forward. You'll be happy then.
And what is the best book that you've read or listened to? And what was the number one thing you learned from that?
The best book I've read so far is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And what I learned from it was just kind of summed up in one quote from that book, where he said, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. It's similar to an old Ralph Waldo Emerson quote, but I, found it in that book to be very inspiring and encouraging.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
My favorite quote is by Henry David Thoreau. He says, if you advance confidently in the direction of your dreams and endeavor to live the life which you have imagined, you will meet with success, unexpected in common hours. And what I like about that is when we first take the steps, towards our dream life or whatever it is we imagine in our head, we kind of maybe half expect success and then half expect failure, maybe 50-50. We feel it can go either way. But this quote kind of solidifies the only thing you can expect from being decisive and courageous and brave and, making a decision, having resolve is success. Success is going to be that only option for you.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
LuannaHelena.com. My first name and last name, LuannaHelena.com, is the best place to go. It has everything, social media, my demo reels for voiceovers, different projects, the book I mentioned, meditation recordings, everything I do is there. It's LuannaHelena.com.
Perfect. Thank you again. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.